The film starts with a teenage girl named Heidi, who lives with her mom, Nicole. One night, her mom's boyfriend comes home. After a while, Heidi is chatting with him. But then, her mom catches them like that and misunderstands the whole situation. Angry and shocked, she starts yelling at Heidi. Heidi tries hard to explain that nothing wrong happened between them, but her mom won't listen to a word. Feeling hurt and humiliated, Heidi decides to leave home that very night. She takes a bus and reaches a cold, mountainous town called Jindabyne. There, she first calls a guy she had met once before. She hopes he might help her, but the guy refuses to even recognize her and hangs up. Now Heidi is all alone in this strange city. She has nowhere solid to stay and no support. She needs a job to survive. She asks for work at several shops but gets turned down everywhere. During this time, she meets a young man named Joe who is instantly drawn to her. They sit together and start talking. Heidi asks Joe if he can tell what kind of girl she is just by looking at her. He replies that you can't really judge a person by their face. While chatting, they start sharing their past mistakes. Heidi admits she once kissed her friend's boyfriend, and Joe says he accidentally caused a dog to die. These talks create a weird kind of trust between them. Gradually, Heidi starts getting closer to Joe. She even goes back to his place. They talk late into the night. For the first time, Heidi feels that he's listening to her without judging. Though Joe stays busy with his work and keeps trying to avoid Heidi again and again, but Heidi keeps trying to talk to him non-stop. The next morning, Joe goes to meet his father, while Heidi arrives at a small hotel. There, she meets an elderly woman named Irene who runs the place. Seeing Heidi's condition, Irene feels sorry for her and lets her stay in a room on credit. During their conversation, Heidi lies about her mother, saying she's no longer in this world. Irene, meanwhile, shares her husband had passed away too. They talk about their separate lonely lives, and Irene lets Heidi stay in a room. After a while, Heidi finally lands a job at a gas station and a small shop. She starts serving customers and slowly tries to get her new life together. Meanwhile, whoever comes to see her, their conversations grow, and their relationship becomes more comfortable than before. For the first time, Heidi begins to feel a bit safe in this new city, but the loneliness in her heart and the fears from her past still haunt her. She doesn't give up. One evening, he takes her out with him. They spend time together, and Heidi laughs as they play a childhood game. Everything looks normal from the outside, but deep down, Heidi is still battling her old wounds and mental struggles. She feels that if she gets too close to someone again, everything might break once more. After finding a job at a gas station, Heidi's life starts to get a little better. She stays at a hotel, works all day, and often thinks about Joe in her free time. On the other hand, Joe begins coming to see her. Their conversations keep growing, and slowly they start feeling comfortable around each other. Joe is caught up with his family, work, and personal responsibilities, while Heidi just enjoys being with him. One day, Joe comes to meet Heidi at the gas station. They chat a bit and then decide to go out for a walk together. Along the way, Heidi even bonds quickly with the stray dogs. She pays attention to the little things, which makes Joe realize that even though Heidi seems carefree on the outside, deep down, she's really sensitive and lonely. They start spending more time together, and the attraction between them grows. One night, when they're alone, Heidi laughs playing an old childhood game, and the mood lightens. But just as they begin to get emotionally closer, Heidi suddenly feels uneasy. Old fears and past experiences resurface in her mind. She can't fully trust in any relationship. He doesn't understand what's really going on in her head, but he doesn't pressure her about it either. After that, Heidi's inner struggle becomes clearly visible in the film. On the outside, she tries to live a normal life. But deep down, she's constantly battling feelings of insecurity, loneliness, and memories of her past. Sometimes she gets restless without making a sound. She feels like if someone gets too close to her, she'll lose them or break down all over again. That's why sometimes she gets close to Xiao, and other times she suddenly puts distance between them. On the other hand, Joby is going through the weight of his own life. He's trying to balance his family and personal troubles. Still, he doesn't leave Heidi's side. He tries to understand her strange behavior. He tries and supports her without asking questions. Slowly, the trust between them starts to grow deeper. For the first time, Heidi begins to feel like maybe she's found someone in this city who sees her for who she is now, not who she was in the past. But the fear inside her hasn't completely gone away yet. That fear becomes the biggest challenge for their relationship. Heidi and Joe's bond deepens little by little, but both of them can't seem to break free from their own inner diaries and struggles. One day, Joe is with his friends, and his friends, they make fun of her working at a petrol pump. Heidi feels really bad about it, but stays quiet. Later, while they're eating together, Heidi directly asks Joe if he loves her. Joe can't give a clear answer. His silence breaks Heidi inside. Out of anger and hurt, she eats some really spicy chili, and she starts feeling sick. Joe helps her, but things don't feel the same between them anymore. Meanwhile, Joe is tangled up in in his own feelings. After drinking at a party Richard reaches home. Conflicted and emotional, she ends up kissing Richard. Richard calmly advises her to take her time and understand her feelings. After this incident, Joe returns home and breaks down openly in front of his father for the first time. He starts realizing that he has always been suppressing his emotions, which is why he couldn't express himself even to Heidi. Meanwhile, Heidi gets another huge shock. She finds out that her colleague Bianca's father is the same man with whom she had tried to make a wrong move before leaving home. That man warns Heidi. He tells her to stay away from Bianca. The next day, Bianca questions him about it. Heidi feels like her past is chasing her again. Embarrassed and anxious, she quits her job and leaves. That night, Heidi falls apart completely. She drinks and ends up at a nightclub where she goes off with two strangers. One of them tries to force himself on her. Just then, Joe shows up and rescues her in time. Outside, Joe angrily asks her why she's ruining her life like this. Heidi, crying, says she thought no one cared about her, that no one responded and just walked away. But deep down, there's both worry and love for Heidi. The next morning, the hotel owner Aaron finds out the truth from Heidi. Heidi admits her mom is alive and that she had lied to her. Then Aaron shares her own pain, telling Heidi that her son is in prison for murder. She tells Heidi that running away won't change anything. If she really wants to move forward, she has to face her mom and deal with their relationship. She knew she had to try to make things better. This really touched Heidi's heart. Finally, Heidi reaches out to her mom. After a while, her mom comes to pick her up from Jindabyne. As Heidi is packing her things, Joe comes to see her. He's surprised to see that she's leaving. They sit together quietly for a while. This time, without saying a word, Joe takes her hand. It's the first time they feel close to each other without any diary or pretense. When Heidi's mom arrives, Joe tries to kiss her goodbye, but Heidi stops him. She smiles. Carr just says that she is happy to have met Joe, and after that, she goes back with her mother. The film ends with a car driving through snow-covered mountains, leaving a feeling of hope and new beginnings.